Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about why accessibility is so important, and I want to discuss this as someone who was diagnosed with glaucoma when I was 8 years old, and so I've been dealing with and experiencing vision loss, vision impairment pretty much my entire life from 8 until now I'm 29, almost 30. So I have about 2 decades of experience being disabled, and here are my thoughts on why accessibility is so important. So I think that the best way to do this is by simply sharing my story and my experience being someone with a disability. So as I mentioned, I was diagnosed with glaucoma when I was 8 years old, and pretty much from that point on, I felt like my experiences were primarily shaped by the things that I couldn't do. It was, I'm not going to be able to drive, I'm not going to be able to see like everybody else, read like everybody else, participate like everybody else. And so from an early age, I really learned to sit myself out. It was when I turned 15, everybody got their permit except me. 16, everybody got their license except me. Around that time is when all of my peers were out getting jobs and I wasn't. And a lot of that has to do with accessibility. It's not that I wasn't able to work a job, it was that I wasn't able to get to a job. And so my jobs looked like babysitting for families across the street. I've also gained a lot of perspective in the fact that I didn't have a real clocking in and out job until I was 24. And that's when I realized how significant employment is for empowerment. It's meeting new people and expanding your social circles. It's finding confidence in your abilities to be a contributor and to be able to work hard and to be in roles that maybe you didn't see yourself able to do. And so as I was continuously sitting out of opportunities, it reinforced this core belief that I'm not capable, that I can't do these things, that there's not room for me in these environments, and it became very discouraging. And as my friends went off and got jobs and made new friends, I'm still there not making new friends, living very isolated, and that also continued to create these beliefs that I'm not good enough. It's also important to consider that in my lifetime, technology has advanced exponentially. So the resources and the accessibility I had presented to me 20 years ago is so different than what it looks like now. And so the opportunities just simply weren't there like they are today. And so I don't think it's a shock to say that I battled with really low self-esteem, with high anxiety, high fear about not feeling like I was going to be independent, able to support myself, capable of even doing so, being self-sufficient. And then when I was about 24, 25, I hit this breaking point where I so desperately needed independence. And at that time, I moved into my own apartment and I learned what I was capable of simply by deciding that I needed to throw myself into the deep end of I want to be on my own, and then I'll figure it out from there, figure out how to problem solve these obstacles that kept doors closed for me for so long. I'm proud of myself for pushing through a lot of the visual obstacles and challenges that I encountered in undergrad and grad school, and eventually I got my master's degree, and now in these last few months I started a career as a counselor. And being finally able to be in this role, it also highlights to me that I was capable of this the entire time, and that a big reason why I didn't think that I was or didn't believe in myself, why it took me so long to achieve these goals, is because the accessibility just simply was not there. And it's making me realize that accessibility is so important, because accessibility is empowerment and accessibility is achievability. And now that I've been granted this more accessible life where I can work and provide for myself, be self-sufficient, make friends in work environments, expand myself socially, professionally, intellectually, emotionally, all of it, it has, of course, vastly increased my confidence and self-esteem. And once that switch turned on, that self-esteem switch, it's oh my goodness, this is a superpower. Do other people feel like this all the time, feel this sense of confidence and capability? Because it was an entirely new thing that I did not experience until my mid-20s. And of course, there's so many factors into why that is, but a real key component of that is accessibility. As I've gotten older, I realized that I belong in these rooms, I belong in these places, and it's up to me to advocate for my ability to get into these roles, into these rooms, into these positions, and to advocate for the accessibility for these things. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still encountering a lot of obstacles within my own independence, within my own career, and the accessibility to create the schedule I want, to be able to get myself to and from my office. There's a lot of obstacles still out there, and there's been so much progress in the area of accessibility, and it's just making me realize how important it is to continue to fight for these things, push for these things, because it is crucial for people who are disabled. And a lot of the ways we are held back is not within the disability itself, it's within the accessibility of society. And so I wanted to share my 2 cents on that, and it's just been a little thing I've been soapboxing in my head for a minute, so I wanted to get it out, and I'm hoping that some of you guys can relate. Maybe you feel seen and heard by my own experience, and if you do, please leave a comment, start some conversation, and I will see you guys in my next video.